Didn't hear me. Yeah, it says council chambers. It says council chambers. Are you in? You can't.
I didn't hear you.
You're muted.
Well, we have to come back and look.
Well, I do. I'm on. You're live.
We're live?
Yeah.
And,
But you gotta let me in, don't you?
no, you have to let me in.
Well, I pressed go.
All right, so now I can go turn it on.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, I can't do both.
Oh, I thought you heard me. Why is it not? You can't hear me.
City property.
Right.
I'm gonna talk to Dan about it. Maybe follow down the road with it. I wanna take my fence off, I wanna bring the fence rest the way down. I wanna put it right up to the sidewalk. On my side, turn the other. About had it with him. This is die,
He's like,
have an accident or something.
and you're live.
We're not live right now. I don't think so.
Too much complication. We're live, right, Kim?
Yes.
We already did. Yep.
If anybody's watching, they're gonna be hungry when we get done. Paul, have you done anything with the ERC tax credit?
The what?
The ERC tax credit? It's businesses when we're shut down and stuff, so
No.
I got one, I got it back, I just making sure it's not too good to be true. So.
Nope. You're ready to go whenever.
Oh, she's sure. I know. Oh, I forgot. I'm from DPW.
I always forget which meeting we're in.
Talk my mouth full. Call the meeting to order. Any public comments? Anybody on Zoom or anything?
Nope.
Okay, we need approval of the January 9th, 2023 police minutes. Make a motion.
Oh, second, sorry.
And the next item is gonna be items of business, the chief's report.
All right, for February, we had 16 reports. Two notable with, we had 2 death investigations on the same day, which I don't think has ever happened here, but we had 2 in one day. Other item is when an individual from the middle school decided to take a knife to school. He is now currently suspended until the fall of 2023 when school starts back up. So he's learning from home. Did take one assault at the middle school. That was assault / bullying type thing, and that investigation is wrapping up. One report from Adult Protective Services. That was a resident here who had gone to the hospital and then went to a treatment facility, and then they brought her home by ambulance. So that didn't work out too well, because then our ambulance kept responding to a resident, so. Got Adult Protective Services involved to help with her care. And since then, our ambulance has not had to have a return visit. So that was kind of the highlights there. Did 1,026 miles of patrol. 29 traffic stops. 7 tickets were issued. Big one is speed again. For that month. 22 traffic warnings. 14 warnings for speed. The other ones we also look for quite a bit is registration violations, because those are kind of easy to spot if somebody hasn't renewed their registration plates. The next one is under additional information. So I did send in for the grant under the small rural and tribal grants for the body worn cameras. The low bid for a 5-year period was $16,591. That would be cut in half if we were awarded the grant, which then would bring the city's total to $8,295.50. The deadline for the grant was February 17th. The federal government was allocating $6,120,000 for that program. However, the problem is probably 75% of all police agencies in the country are classified as small departments.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of agencies applying for that grant. I do know that the city of Owasso got the grant last time, so hopefully we can get a grant, because ours funding request is a lot less than even Owasso's was at, so do that. Reference to the NRA Foundation grant that I had put in just for additional money for ammunition, just because the cost of ammunition was so expensive. And we did not get that grant. Again, they were overrun by requests for funding. So they have to pick and choose as to who's going to get funding on that. So we did provide security at the high school boys basketball game against Potterville. And then I did attend the Michigan Chiefs Conference in Grand Rapids. So that was that. The only other thing I have is know that your previous predecessors had asked about a speed sign indicating, telling people what their speed would be. A couple of years ago, that was up to about $5,000. At the Chiefs Conference, the price did come down a little bit. I'll pass this along. They have one sign that lights up, comes with 2 batteries, 3-year warranty. It is able to be moved around, but we would have to have DPW do that because it's put on with bolts and everything else. So I don't know how much we'd want to move that around. So the price has now dropped to $2,996.
We can get 2 of them now. Put one on each end coming in.
So
Cool.
the person I had contact with from All Traffic Solutions, I told them that we did have a meeting tonight, but for $3,000 and 3,000 hours of manpower writing speeding tickets, I'm not so sure that we would go with that sign. So, but I said I would bring it up to my committee and see what their thoughts were on that. And
But we couldn't rent one someplace,
that,
if it's cheap enough cost that we could just once in a while, put it out.
But then you
How
gotta
much
get
was
it
the
back
total?
from
How much was the total of that sign?
$2,996.
That's this,
$3,000.
that's this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Looks like it's just put on a post. But that post is what moves right now.
No, so you'd have to leave a post there, then you
Oh.
would take it off there, and then you
Oh, that's
put
what
in
bolted
another
on.
post.
Oh.
So you'd have to move it around. You'd have to just take it off and move it around. You'd have to take it off to put the batteries in.
So it's not
We
even,
had one on a trailer for a while.
Yeah, the problem with that is, again, charging the batteries.
Well, and
Yeah, moving it around.
you guys had to move it all the time.
Right.
We did. But then.
So then I asked him, I said, well,
Once you get
typically,
the batteries, it
a lot of
costs
people
more
want to
space.
see how fast they're going. They said there is actually a thing on there that you can cut off the speed, so if somebody decides that they want to see how fast they're going in a particular zone, you can cut that off at a certain amount.
Huh.
So,
I'm assuming,
but anyways, for $3,000, my recommendation was probably not. So I would prefer body cameras over a sign telling people how fast they're going.
They already know how fast they're going, so.
Usually they do, yeah.
And the
So-
sign doesn't really help anyways if they're not paying, if they're not paying attention how fast they're going on their car, that, I mean, they
Right.
might not necessarily see that sign.
And I don't know which street in the city we don't have well marked for 25 zones and that stuff. We have like 6 of them on Doyle and they still can't follow the speed limit. And then even going through downtown, we have a lot of 25-mile-an-hour signs. So if they can't, I know it's the 25 mph is a suggestion
I think,
to a lot of people,
I
but
think the biggest two would be the cheapest is have, I mean, if we had enough people. For patrol, I guess, to have a cop car sitting wherever too. I mean, even if there's a police officer in it. Might deter a little bit of the speeding, I don't know. Like had a big main something in town, I don't know.
well, the problem with that is then the car is unattended and I don't want to leave the car unattended.
what a cardboard cut.
There you go. So. But, so I was gonna ask you what you guys' thoughts were on that.
I mean, it was a good point, it's small and. They already know how fast they're going. They don't care anything a lot of times, so. I think that little one's gonna be a waste of time unless, give me a lot of ticket writing.
Not saying that, I mean, if you had the sign, do you get any type of report or? And how do you get notified somebody's speeding?
You gotta
That
be
just
working.
shows people their speed.
You don't know,
There's-
yeah, so there's really, it
Yeah.
doesn't do any good except.
Right,
Hey,
it's
you're-
supposed to be able to tell people to slow down.
Yeah.
Does it? I
No.
don't know.
Unless you put a camera in the back.
Yeah,
You should have.
well, and then, in Michigan, still, you can't even have cameras at red light violations or anything. That's still illegal in Michigan.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, a lot of states have it where they run the red light,
Yep.
Yeah.
you get mailed a ticket. In Michigan, it's illegal.
No.
So,
So I mean, it really doesn't have much of a benefit.
no, although, some jurisdictions like to have it, especially if they've got, a big school zone or something like that, so.
Right.
But
I would agree with your assessment, just pass.
that was my suggestion, is going to be pass on. So that's,
Maybe another time if it's something down the road, maybe.
Or if we have a big surplus in the city.
yeah, I don't see that happening. We'll have to take care of our lagoons first, so. All right, any questions on the reports, or anything?
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But we don't have other, because we already covered that.
Right, next month, I will be on vacation, so I won't be here for the police committee report, so. I guess.
Throw your brother in there.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. I'll be just getting back.
So I guess we could adjourn the meeting now.
Can. I know it's the count, this is the count meeting.
No, that starts at 7.
Okay, sorry, it's
Oh.
the first time.
Okay, this is.
Welcome.
Police
This is the police committee
Yep.
meeting. Got any questions for them before we adjourn? Are we done?
I guess he asked if there's any questions or anything, I guess.
I already asked that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
We're good.